All right, we're going to talk a little bit about centering in simple cylinders today. We're going to jump right into it. So first thing you want to do is wet your bat. You don't want it sopping wet, but you do want a clean, wet surface. Then go ahead and smack your clay down in the center. If you don't feel comfortable with this, you can always just place it lovingly in the middle and then give it a good smack. Then we'll seal it down to the bat by running a finger along the bottom. This will help keep it in place as we apply pressure to it. Then we're going to wet it down. Put your elbow in your hip, your palm up against the clay, and you're going to lean your body weight into the clay. You want a nice right angle as you're working. The base of your thumb should be over the top of the clay. You'll press down as you lean in. Your other hand should be down into the bat, and you're going to compress down hard as you lean in and press down. Now, the way that you'll know that this is centered is as you feel it in your hands, it should quiet down quite a bit. And if you take a finger and run it over the ball of clay, it shouldn't make your finger dance at all. If you find that you're struggling with centering, try what's called coning up. So instead of keeping your thumb over the top of the ball, you can pop that up and then just squeeze the clay gently up into a cone shape. This is going to homogenize the clay a little bit more and help you center. Then once you've got it up, you're just going to put your thumb back over the top and press it back down into our little half dome shape. Now you'll also see me sometimes in my videos do a quick little version of coning up and down. You just kind of bump your thumb up and down on the top, and that's just going to recenter it a little bit. Run your finger along it, and we've got it. Moving on, this is how we're going to drop the hole. So find the center point, support with your hands, elbows in your anchor, and then you're going to drop it down into a nice soft V shape. After we've done that, you'll grab your needle tool and check the depth. So stick the tip of the needle tool down in, follow it with your finger when it touches the bottom. That's about how much you've got left. You're shooting for about 1/4 of an inch. Then your finger will go back down in the bottom and we're going to open up the form. Just drag your fingertip along the bottom, the rest will follow. Depending on what you're making, a sponge is a good size indicator. Make sure you compress to avoid S cracks. That's going to compact the clay so it doesn't hold as much water. Then we'll move on to the volcano. You're just going to compress the top lip up into kind of a cone shape. And this is going to help us get more height out of the form. Then we'll establish a groove on the bottom. Make sure to support on the inside. And then we're going to do a knuckle pull. So that's what your finger should look like. You're going to stick your knuckle in that groove, support it on the inside, and touch your hands together. And then all of your pressure is coming from the outside. We want to pull up and in. We'll wet it down, reestablish a groove, and do our second pull. Your knuckle is in the same position. Again, most of your pressure is coming from the outside, though you do support pretty well on the inside. Then we'll go for one more pull. Again, establish a groove, knuckle goes in. And on the third pull, we can add a little bit more shape to it. Make sure we don't have any thick or thin spots. And just make sure that it's really consistent all the way throughout. Don't forget to sponge out the water on the inside, especially if you're keeping it. That's going to keep the bottom from cracking. Now, if we look at the cross section, this is what it should look like. It should have nice, consistent walls. And the pulls, just for fun, should look like this. So your knuckle is going to go inside. And then you're actually kind of pushing out the clay from the inside and pulling it up. And there you go. Have fun. Go get messy.